Welcome to Unpacked, real conversations for diplomatic partners who are ready to unpack more than just boxes. This is the space for the brave questions, the messy middles, and the quiet decision to stop shrinking and start showing up fully. We talk identity, purpose, transitions, and what it really takes to feel at home in a life that's always moving. Because you've always been more than just the label, and this is where we say it out loud. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm with my co-host, Anna.
Hello, and welcome back to Unpacked. Today I'm with my lovely co-host, Anna, as always. Hi, Anna, how are you doing?
Hi, Emma. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be back after a long break.
Yeah, long break for us. We've and a lot has changed. Well, not a lot has changed. A lot has changed for you, Anna. Which I know you're going to tell us about very shortly. But I've had a 2.5-week break in the UK with 5 different stops, and that's exhausting anyway. Doing that anyway, but with my 4.5-month-old baby and not full night's sleep, different cots, random naps, random length naps, new faces, new places. It's yeah, I got back and I was like, I don't ever want to get to see a plane ever again. So
I hear you.
yeah, it was good and we enjoyed ourselves, and it was really nice to see both sets of grandparents as well for Isla. But yeah, I think we need to rein back our ambition a little bit to make it a bit more manageable in the future. But yes, that's all what I've been up to. Just a whirlwind tour around the UK and then a little stop in Dubai on the way back. How about you, Anna? Tell us, where are you? What's been happening?
What's been happening? Well, first of all, that sounds like, yeah, it's exactly a sprint. You had a 2.5 week sprint, dashing to all these different places. And I think even, as you said, for adults without the baby, it's challenging enough because just packing and unpacking, because we both know what it is like. Exactly. Oh my God. Did you forget anything, by the way? Did you leave anything behind somewhere?
I don't think we did actually, but because
Wow, well
I'd
done.
open up the suitcase and then things would get taken out and then they would be put in the bag. So it was just an in out.
Okay.
I mean, nothing ever got moved. But we did like the thing where I was like, why are we carrying, like, I don't know, we should buy a changing mat for your parents, then we should buy a changing mat for my parents. Then we've got like these, like, carrying 2 changing mats around the UK until we got to each other's respective parents, and so we accumulated more, and then we've bought 2 travel cots because we thought, well, why are we doing this? And then I thought, do we buy a 3rd one and take it back to Kenya? And yeah. So we've accumulated a lot of stuff.
You've accumulated, but you did not forget anything. You did not leave anything. Oh, amazing, because that's what happens to me at times. So I got back to Lebanon because I think we were traveling more or less at the same time. It was mid-July. No, towards the end of July, actually. Yes, exactly. After spending 2 months in Australia and spending a lot of time with my daughter who's there in the boarding school, I came back home to Beirut, and I'm so happy to be back. And it's just so funny. When I'm in Australia, I'm really happy there because I'm not thinking, oh, I wish I were there, and I wish, like, I'm a summer person. I love summer, and being in Australian winter, I still kind of tried to do the most out of it because it was perfect weather for walking, and I mean, still 20 degrees plus.
Yeah, it's not really winter.
You cannot complain, right? But when it's consistent plus 30 and 26 at night, it's 30 during the day, it's 26 at night, the whole summer long in Beirut, always sunny. Always. Like, how cool is that? I miss that. And I miss my friends and obviously my family and my kids. And we celebrated belatedly the birthdays because we had 2 birthdays in July. And it's just exactly my daughter's birthday, who turned 18, and just, the hugs. And I don't know, like, I love the everyday stuff with my kids, just making deciding what we're cooking for dinner. I'm trying to teach my kids a bit how to cook, especially given the fact that my eldest is 18 and it's her last year of school and she's going off. I want her to know how to cook. I think that's one of the most essential skills.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can choose what you want to eat and then you help me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Baking. We have a pool in our building and going to the beach. And last week, I spent the whole week in Betroun, which is only about 50 minutes drive without traffic north from Beirut. Because the beauty of a small country like Lebanon is everything's so close by, right?
Yeah.
So, and I had a whole week on the beach. So I feel like now, yeah, I definitely I soaked up all the summer and whatever I was missing, I felt like I missed for 2. I arrived halfway through the summer, but I caught up. So I feel like, I've really accomplished something. I'm suntanned. I feel like I'm happy. I had amazing time with my friends because what the Lebanese can do well, they can enjoy life. They're just so full of joy and appreciation, and the places they make, like the cafes or the beach clubs or restaurants you go to, the vibes are just amazing, really. So so it's just kind of, I had a very quiet time in Australia, a lot of solitude, and here it's the opposite. It's lots of catching up and going out and just being out and about. So, and I think that's what life is, right? It just goes a bit like that, phases where it's just quieter and more introverted reflection, and then kind of business and doing things. Yeah.
And I'm sure if our viewers are viewing us on YouTube, they'll be able to tell how amazing you look, Anna. You look so fresh and rested. And, yeah, you look wonderful. And if you have our listeners, you just have to take my word for it. But yeah, you feel like you're just radiating, and you have a nice glow about you today, Anna.
Oh, thank you, Emma. And that's how I feel. I really. It might sound cheesy, but I love my life. I'm grateful for the day. That's how I wake up. It's like, yay, it's another day. I spending with people I love, being in the city I actually really love, and having summer. Oh my God, give me summer. It's just a huge component, I think, for me. It's just, it's default. Like when you have summer, for me, it's like default mode is happiness.
Yeah.
It cannot be otherwise. It's like, that's it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I'm really glad that you've had a really nice couple of weeks, which is really nice.
Exactly. It's almost a month, Emma. Can you believe it? Time flies. I know, that's why it's just, what? We're almost towards the end of the summer? Where did the summer go? Or winter?
Well,
or winter.
I've done both. It's just,
so you're like,
yeah, I'm all over the place. I don't even know what day it is, but we're getting there.
We're getting there, yeah.
So today we're going to finish off our confidence series, which I'm really excited about because we've been through a real journey with this whole episodes, haven't we? We've started off, I'm going to have to just quickly remind myself how we started this series. I think it was on the rediscovering or reinvention of who we are. I'm looking at all these lovely photos from your birthday, Anna. As I was
really?
Scrolling through our notes. Yeah. How do you stay confident when you're constantly starting over? What do you? Yeah. How do we? Yeah, what's the difference between rediscovery and reinvention? And the last episode, which was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, I really loved it.
Exactly.
About the what do you do?
What do you do? Yeah.
Answering the question. So I really hope that everyone enjoyed doing the reflective exercises, and please do let us know how you got on. So today we're taking it from there. So we're now saying, so now we've owned this. What do you do? We can say it with confidence. We can say it. What do we then want from the next step? So if you have big dreams and maybe you're in the moment where you're, the stage in life where you're saying, well, right now, I'm enjoying settling into this post. I'm enjoying looking, finding my new cafes and my new, or I'm having a career break. I think a lot of that time, like you did with your reflection and your solitude, Anna, having those little breaks, whether it's about settling into your new city or having just complete time just to reset. Our brain is an amazing thing, isn't it? It always starts thinking about what's next or how to create, like starting to be a bit creative or start daydreaming. Because when we allow ourselves to pause, it allows all of the inspiration to come up, doesn't it? And that's what I really love.
Absolutely.
I get loads of different ideas. As soon as I'm on holiday, I have about 10 different new ideas of things that I want to do or my next steps. So hopefully you've having that little time to reflect and to pause about what you do and how you answer that question maybe has given you a little bit of inspiration about what your next steps are. So we know that when we've got these ideas and the next steps, the amount of bravery and courage it takes to take that next step.
Yeah.
So we're really going to talk about how you break that cycle of I've got a new idea, and it's very easy to put off that idea, isn't it, and stop. We just don't have, sometimes we just have all these millions of ideas and we don't get anywhere with them, Anna.
Oh, yes. Yep, definitely. I mean, I can relate to that statement, Emma.
I can.
Yes, and I think that's okay, and that's such a big question exactly. So now I have this idea, and I'm really excited about it. So what's next?
Yeah.
And I think it's very easy to, I think how our mind, sorry, Emma, I just finished this
Yeah.
thought. I think how our mind is wired, we have an idea, but then we start basically dissecting that idea and maybe kind of, it's like, having flying, taking the wings and everything off. That's how it looks, because this doubt and like, that's so stupid, it's never going to work. Or maybe we are excited and we are sharing excitedly our idea with someone we appreciate and love, and the person say, well, that's really delusional, like it's never going to work. Has it ever happened to you? And
Yeah.
like, and your idea is like,
Yeah.
deflates.
Yeah. Ashley says to me all the time, oh, is this another new idea? After I gave birth, I was like, do you know what? Maybe if we ever settle in the UK, maybe I'll be trained to be a midwife. And he said, what? Where's this one come from? And I was like, no, I know, I won't do that one. But you just get all these amazing ideas, don't you? Because everything is so interesting, isn't it? And there are so many
Exactly.
new things to learn.
And that's why I think there is a really fine line. So having an idea, it's like having a seed planted, or just, it's the beginning. And obviously it's where it all starts. But, a seed needs to germinate, in order to bear fruit and actually become visible. Otherwise it stays forever underneath the soil. So how do you water it? What do you do with this beautiful, precious seed you just planted?
Yeah.
So Emma, so let's maybe
So,
try
yeah,
and make it
exactly.
practical, right? And kind of give our opinion on it.
Yeah. And I think that this is what you've just said about why do we wait? It's true. We wait and we say things like, oh, I'll start when term starts, when the kids are back at school. I'll start when the holidays are over. I'll start, oh, we've got some guests coming, so, I can't think about that right now. I'll do that next. So we wait for the right time, or then we say, okay, this is amazing. This is a great idea. I tell you what, why don't to have some more confidence before I start, I'm going to do this training, I'm going to do this certificate, and then I'm going to do this. And then, even if I do all those three, no, I've just found something else new that I really want to learn about. And that will give me the confidence to start. And I'm not saying that obviously there are certain things that you do need to have certificates before you start and to do the training. But you can continually learn and learn and learn. And then, like you say, sometimes we wait for permission. So
Yeah.
that's oh, I think I might try and do this. What do you think? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. So we're, especially in this life, it's very, very hard to just go, that's it. I'm making this clearing space in my diary. I'm just going to go and do it. And the problem with all of these things is that actually all of these await them, the permission to start, the right time, more experience. It's all fear, isn't it? It's all
Yeah,
it's all this cloud of fear that's making us worried about the fear of failure. But the fear never disappears, does it? Even when you've started.
no, no, exactly. Fear of failure. I think fear of judgment,
Yeah.
being judged by other people and ourselves,
Hmm.
most and first of all, right? Our own judgment. And some people do fear success, you know?
Mm.
Success, fear of success is a big one as well. And I think what I find a lot of us somehow we're so trained to trust other people's opinions, you know, the guru, the business coach, the I don't know, you name it, you know, people on Instagram or people instead of like, you know, trusting actually our own judgment. Because what I've noticed, let's say if you have an idea, you go ask 100 people, their advice will cancel each other advices out. Like it will be zero. Like
Yeah.
so, and I also know that what most successful people do, they're probably, yes, it's good to get advice, not because, you know, what's the difference between advice, opinion? Opinion is someone who's never done whatever you're going to do and just has opinions, which are worth nothing anyway. Like, okay, nice to hear, but it means absolutely nothing. But even advice coming from experts or people who actually have walked before you that path, still, you know, there'll be so many contradictory things there. You can sure go and ask, but then at the end of the day, I think you just say, this is what I feel is right for me, and I'm just going to try it.
Yeah.
I personally believe what works for me better. Yes, you have to have commitment and determination, but I think it's also important to kind of be loosely attached to it and not like, "Ooh, that's it," having a deadly grip on things. Because in my case, like it's guaranteed to like because when I did that in life, it backfired. When I'm
Yeah.
like
Well,
not letting go.
you've just described my week, Anna, haven't you?
Exactly. Right,
Yeah.
Emma? It does not work.
No.
It just does not work. It's so frustrating. Things don't work. It's like it's frustration, and you feel like I'm in more and more self-doubt. Like, and what's the point? I think, yeah, that's
Yeah.
personally tested, and I can say that's for me personally not the way to approach things.
Yeah. I mean, just to fill our listeners in, basically, I decided that this was the week that maybe baby Isla would start to learn how to go down for a cot nap and to, have all these different people, look after her and to get her to sleep rather than just solely relying on mummy, which she does right now. So I got the expert book. It said it was kind
Yeah.
and gentle.
Yep.
It was not kind and it was not gentle on mummy or baby. And I did 2 days,
Yeah.
and it was the worst 2 days of my entire life. Yes, I got results, but it didn't feel good. Um,
No.
and
Yeah.
I was reminded about this thing. If it doesn't feel right, trust your instincts and trust your gut. There's a different way. So day 3,
Exactly.
cancelled it all and thought, what is? And I went back to the basic. I was like, why am I doing this? Well, like, the
Yeah.
whole point was that she would go out in a crib, and she would be, you know, her nanny and my husband could get her down so that I could, do work and have a bit more flexibility. Um, so that's what we're going to practice. I don't need somebody else to tell me how to do that and to make me feel miserable in the process. So, yes, I think that when we're talking about this and it's the courage, I think sometimes to step away from other people, like you say, and think, pinch of salt, let's gather the information and let's just go for it. Um, but when we're looking into courage, and people are very often, I think, probably look at you, Anna, and maybe look at me with the Instagram, and like, wow, you're so brave to put yourself out there and to do these things and to take that next step. And courage and bravery never comes without fear. It's acting in despite of the fear, isn't it? It's feeling
Yeah.
the fear and doing it anyway.
Feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And I know it just takes, like, I'm also still mastering this. But Emma, we all know, like, we fear what are the, when I first started started posting on Instagram, I really feared what people are going to say about me, like what are going to think. I remember I had a coach back then, and she said, Anna, just trust me, they won't even notice. Everyone is preoccupied with themselves. They're thinking, what are you thinking of them? Like, we're all so self-centered. Trust me, no one actually cares.
Yes.
And that's why if you really let it sink in, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't mean like, you don't care about people and all of that, but really, if you think about it, you are thinking like, what is she now thinking of me? How is she perceiving me? And like, that's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the courage, like, if there is a fear of being judged by other people, what they're going to say, well, just remember that. I think that has to be really kind of tattooed somewhere, on the inside of our brain, that everyone is just self-obsessed in a good way, which should be the case anyway.
Yeah. And I think you've mentioned this before in probably an episode, maybe even last year, but there's like this confidence cycle, isn't there, where you do it, you get some results, then you get the confidence, and then every brave action becomes evidence that you are becoming this more confident person. So it's about, if you have this great idea of, let's say, being a nutritional therapist, and with this successful business, it's going to be online, it's going to maybe do some workshops online. You're never going to get anywhere until you tell someone about it. So even if that, Instagram or creating a website or, going to a networking event, even if that feels so big and so scary right now, then you've got to take it back and be like, okay, what's the least scary step? Well, I'm going to just talk to somebody in my city who is interested in nutritional therapy. And maybe I'll, tell them this is what I'm going to do. And then maybe it's, I'm going to maybe share this in a WhatsApp group. So it's down to like 30, 40, 50 people maybe in your local area. Then you go, okay, now I've got some evidence that I can do that. Okay, maybe now I can put it onto the internet. And it's very much breaking it down into every little brave action, and it really gives you that self-belief that, well, I think it also breaks down that barrier, what you said, like, actually no one really cares. So you might get a few likes, you might not get a few likes, people might see it and just scroll on, because I think that, I don't know what the research says, but something like the average person spends less than 10 seconds on a post, I don't know what it is. But they're just like, they've seen it, they've just gone on with their day.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, that's a great point, that you start small, whatever small looks like for you, and just challenge yourself a bit more, and a bit more every time. And I remember when I was going through my Tony Robbins phase, and again, you can like him or really dislike him, but I remember he said, like, when you decide to do something, you never leave, like we made a decision, you had this idea, you never leave the place, the table, the position you're sitting in, until you take the next step. Like, you can, I don't know, put something in your calendar, like that you're going to do research tomorrow on this, or you're doing something today. So you have to take little steps, ideally every day. And they're not huge, but they're tiny, consistent steps that actually lead to results, I'd say. Yeah. And it also takes away this fear of, because that's used to be my problem. Oh, I have a grand idea, and it's like, it's so unsurmountable because it's so gigantic. I don't even know where to start. Like, okay, I don't start. Yeah. Because it's huge. And that's why this is my learning curve that has been, I think, the more organic and just natural things unfold, the better they are, because you are doing things, they feel natural. Yes, you are getting out of your comfort zone, but also like this, I did it. Just the feeling of, I held the word I gave to myself, I did this little thing. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, you are the destination, like who you are going to be, right? It's not even the journey. Like you are destination, you who are doing like badass nutrition um, expert who's going to help so many people.
Yeah.
I think that's what you ultimately just want to be.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing I just thought as well, I lost my train of thoughts.
Well, I'll just go, and then you can
Yeah, you're
pop back
happy?
in.
Yes,
But
sure.
I was just
Yes,
thinking
yes, I'll
that
pop back in.
when you have this grand idea, I think
Hmm.
that a lot of the time, like you say, we get squeezed onto this as like this big thing, and then I get success or failure based on that big idea that I had. But because you're taking all of
Yeah.
these little steps, your perspectives slightly change, don't they? Or you learn things along the way. And then because you get more clarity on what's working and what's not working for you, where you end up might be exactly that first initial grand idea, or it could be completely something completely different, and that's okay. But because you've taken all of those little steps along the way, you've got the contrast, you've got the clarity. Um, it's all a, it's, it. You said it beautifully. It's all about the journey, and I know that sounds so cliche, but you have to go through all of those steps to really get clear on how it's going to work, because every day you're then experimenting. So if I put it into my own example, I have, people, everyone knows that I have my maths business, and then I have
Hmm.
my zesty business. And I'm always continually trying to figure out the balance between those two things, and whether I want to reduce one and increase another.
Hmm.
And initially I was like, well, I want my zesty to be incredible because I want my maths to go basically to zero. But now I've
Hmm.
really got into my maths, I'm like, actually, no, I actually want this to be a bit more 50-50. And then you never know
Hmm.
these things until you really start to just go for it and actually experiment and to try these things. And I really love Brené Brown. I just think she's the most
Hmm.
wonderful and inspirational person. And she has a really lovely quote, and it's something like, um, courage starts with showing up and then letting yourselves be seen. So you have
Yeah.
to be seen for everything to start. And this is what I mean, and also just take a massive credit. Like, this is what diplomatic life does, isn't it? Every time we move, we have to show up again and again and again, every new country. If we're going to create those relationships, if we're going to enjoy going to the new cafes, the new restaurants, we have to show up and we have to have it. So really just be proud of that. Actually, you've gained so much confidence and courage from every single move too.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. I think your completeness or enoughness is not measured in, your achievements and or how many businesses you run or what have you done and not done. And I think so that was such a good point actually, Emma, and I totally agree with what you just said. And it also brought me back now to what I was to say to start with. So thank you very much, partner. I think the best way to approach whatever you're going, every new endeavor in life is a bit like a game and just exactly exploration and learning and trying, and not so much that you need to prove something to others or yourself, because otherwise you're not enough, not successful enough, not brave enough, not courageous enough. I think if you eliminate this need for external validation, and I just know, let's say, if you're in nutrition and you know so much and you can really help people, like, I know what I bring to the table. I don't need to convince you. I don't feel like I need to prove anything. I think it just changes the energetic of how you show up and whatever you do, not from this neediness. Right, please see how amazing I am and how, valuable, because I know what I bring to the table. Like I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And I'm just having fun along the way. I think this also, if you know that, because look, pardon my language, but fuck ups will happen and things will not go to plan and grand idea will not work out. It just happens. but it won't feel like it tells something about you, right? Your capacity, your capability, how worthy, how talented you are. It means nothing. It's just data, giving you more like, okay, I've tried this, did not work, I'm going to do that. But I think if the foundation is like, I'm already cool, I'm just trying new things out. I'm not after approval. I'm not after, I need to succeed. I need to, like, I think there is so much neediness and so much desperation and so much, like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work, as I said, because I've done it before and it never worked. It always works with like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. And I think that the nice thing about when you're doing this, like this, you've maybe got this big idea or the big goal, psychologically, it actually does work. So when there's this theory called possible selves theory, and if you imagine yourself or your future self, it actually increases your motivation and you're actually kinder to yourself. So there was this even like this really cool study that had like they did like I don't know, they took pictures of these students' faces. This is really weird. This is like a bit separate, but they took pictures of students' faces and then did like a digital like made them old,
Yeah.
And then they saw this picture of them being really old, and then they asked them like I don't know like financial questions. I'm pretty sure this is true. I hope this is correct. But they asked them about like how would you want to save for retirement and all of these things. And then the people who had seen themselves as the older image of themselves versus those that hadn't seen themselves in the future, they actually saved more money if they'd seen themselves in the future. So they were more motivated for this person because it was like a real and tangible object, well not object but person. It was like a real thing. So I really encourage like my clients especially to really take time to imagine who this future person is. What does their day look like? How does she spend her mornings? Who are her friends or maybe colleagues or business partners? How would she describe herself? How does she feel? All of the like, what does she stand for? All of these amazing things, so that you can really visualize who they are and who they currently are, but also how they want their life to look like in their perfect average day. Because once you've done that, it actually does motivate you to continue, and it becomes way more real than this abstract idea.
Oh, yes, exactly. I think definitely, to make it, I mean, because everything starts in imagination. Like, your ideas come from imagination. Your dreams of the future, they come from imagination. So definitely, you visualize, because, I don't know, spiritually speaking, in quantum physics, all versions of you exist. So you just need to choose the version you want to be and not let the old version with all her, his, their BS, self-doubt, limitations just get in the way.
Yeah.
One step at a time. And if it happens, it happens. You just keep going.
Yeah. And I don't know whether this is helpful, but I whenever I was starting anything, I always used to think, okay, where if everything went wrong, I put myself out there and everything went wrong, what is the worst possible thing that could happen? Okay. And I never could actually get into something that was actually really bad. Okay, I've wasted a bit of time. I've used my time to give it a go. If I've, I don't know, have to find employment. I have to do these things. Like, is it really that bad? Is it actually
Yeah.
that bad if that worst thing happens? But also, I think about we've talked a lot about this in terms of taking maybe next steps in a career or anything like that. But you could take this into just how you're going to enjoy your posting. So you could be like, I really want this 3 years to be full of social connections, really cool adventures. I spent my last posting feeling quite insular and quite lonely. This one I want to be the complete opposite. So what am I going to do? I'm going to join some groups. I'm going to put myself out there to meet friends. I'm going to look at some cool adventure stuff and actually figure out what I want to do. So all of these things, it doesn't necessarily have to be about a career or business or starting something. It can just be about how you live your life as well. And ultimately, everyone has their comfort zone, and it's a comfort zone because it's nice and cozy. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone, so we really, and it definitely doesn't happen in the panic zone either. So we can't be over the top, and it can't be this massive scary step where, I don't know, you decide, in the nutritional therapist example, you're going to do a TED talk next week. That's like, that would be a bit crazy.
Bit of a stretch. Yeah.
A bit stressful. But it's about finding that growth zone. So I really, if you're going to reflect on something today, I'd say, well, what's one thing that you can do that's slightly uncomfortable but a bit exciting? Like, what are you actually excited to do next? And really just think about it.
Yeah, I love it. I think exciting, because fear and excitement are more or less, or excitement and anxiety are more or less the same feelings. One is with a plus, plus the other one with a minus sign. It's just, the way it feels, but it's just excitement. Like, I'm very excited about it. And I think for me personally, and what Emma said, we were saying, just selecting, visualizing your day. I think that's a good start, because that's your North Star and you don't even know. But I think once we decide this is who I want to be, that's kind of also a seed that you've planted, and it's going to unfold or grow. And often, the pathway there, you don't know where it's going to take you, and it's hardly ever linear.
Yes, definitely.
It's never linear, and that's just,
especially in this life when we have no control or know what's next.
Oh my God, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you just trust it. Trust the journey. And just, I think a lot of it starts with deciding,
Yeah.
Right? It starts with a
Absolutely.
decision. At the end of the day, you just decide. And what I find personally, I said, okay, I want to meet new people this week. Really, I decided, it would be fun to meet new people. I'm not kidding. Within a couple of days, I met 7 new people, just randomly at a park. So it just starts happening.
Yeah.
And I find often you don't even need to go and look for them. They kind of come to you.
Yeah.
But you have to be open and start a conversation when they're sitting there, like 2 Russian ladies at the uni campus where my son was training the other day. I said, well, I'm going to listen to them. I want to understand everything they're talking about. Should I tell them? Things like that, and then it's still on you. You can walk away or you can open a conversation.
Exactly. And I think that's exactly what I wanted to say then. You have to be open. B, you have to be curious about what's going to happen next. You have to just have a bit of fun. You just have to just got to choose courage over comfort. And just what is taking the one next step and just not thinking anything of it. I mean, as I said, I love Brené, but if anyone is interested, I would highly recommend the book Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. I think it's a wonderful book. And it or even there's another book which is very similar, but Dare to Lead as well. I read both, and I had some amazing conversations that allowed me to own myself after reading that book and own what I wanted. And I was like, no. You have to, even if you think about having the truth and courage, they're never easy, but they're always the best. It's always the best course of action, isn't it? So just really digging deep, finding who you are, taking all of that courage, that confidence, that clarity, all of the work. What do you do? What do you want to do next? And just go for it.
Yeah, and I think, going back, by the way, those 2 books, are they by Brené Brown? The
Yes,
ones you
they're
just,
both Brené Brown.
I'm going to read them. Thanks. I love her. I probably read the first one, but not Dare to Lead. So I've just wrote it down. Thank you, Emma. So I think also, like, say if you started with saying, okay, you visualized your future self, and if, like, what I ask myself, if I knew this is a given, like, that's a done deal, it's done, like, whatever I want, it's here. Like, if I know I'm not going to fail, like, it's already here, it's not going anywhere, like, I think we would all show up very differently if we knew we are going to succeed. I know, like, it's a done deal. So
It is.
personally helps me a lot. If it's like, yeah, because if I were the person who already had it all, I would certainly, behave differently, think differently, show up differently. And that's how it starts. And again, it's also a bit of I think it's a dance. You take actions, but not like from, this brute force, let's hustle, let's grind, let's kill this thing, just wrestle everything. I think it's right. It's taking actions, but also being open and receptive.
Yeah. I was speaking to someone and I've been encouraging this person to take the next step in their idea. And, she was really like building up the whole like first post and everything like that. And then as soon as she did it, she was like, honestly, I can't believe that I put it off, because once the first one is done, that you really don't care about the rest. Like, they're just really not big things. And she said to me, it was really inspiring actually. She then said, but what I've been so amazed about just doing that first post, the knock-on effect that it's had in my daily life, I don't now question, the judgment of, oh, this friend asked me to come out for dinner and I couldn't make it. So, like, I was really worried about what they would think about me. She said, all of that worry and the anxiety in what would happen in my normal day-to-day life is giving me so much confidence. So I think this is it's the greatest gift to take the next step in whatever you want to commit to, because you gain so much confidence in all of the other aspects of your life too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, at the end of the day, it's you. It's about you, who you are. As I think I mentioned before, I met so many very successful, accomplished people and say, well, I'm not afraid to lose everything tomorrow because I know I'll be fine. Like, I'll rebuild all of that even faster. It's me. No one can take away me, like what's on the inside and who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Right? Everything can collapse tomorrow. I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I know what I am and who I am and what I bring, and I'll be fine. Even faster next time. So yeah, I think so. Hopefully
Just
there
go
was
and do it.
exactly. Just do it. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate your big and little steps. Be the best. Like, like, I don't know. Obviously, your daughter Isla is still very young, but when she starts, or even now, I don't know. Maybe she rolled over, and it's like, yeah, that's so exciting, and there's so much encouragement when the baby starts learning how to walk. Of course, the baby is going to fall, I don't know, lots and lots of times. We don't say, well, you dummy, get up. Don't you know how to walk? Why do we talk to ourselves like that?
Yeah,
It's also the first time we're doing something. So be like, a good parent to yourself and an amazing friend.
That sounds beautiful. I needed that advice today, so thank you, Anna. That's exactly what I needed to hear. And this is kind of the end of our, well, this is not, it's kind of, it is the end of our confidence series, isn't it?
It is.
But we are looking forward to, in the next few weeks, maybe having some guests on board who have either rediscovered or reinvented themselves and to share their stories. And I'm really excited that we get to not only hopefully support you guys, but also that we can share other people who've lived this life too and have taken that next courageous step. But if you have a courageous step that you want to take and you want a bit of accountability, please feel free to message myself or Anna. We'd love to hear, wouldn't we?
Definitely.
And we will be your cheerleaders all the way.
Yes.
But yeah, so always drop into our DMs. I know we both love it, don't we? But
we do.
For now, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Anna, if we wanted to find you and we wanted to DM you, how would we find you?
You can DM me on my Instagram, which is Not Just a Spouse, and my website, notjustaspouse.com. How about you, Emma?
You can find me on Instagram at The Zesty Life, and my email and my website are also in the show notes. But for now, thank you so much, everybody. And we always love having you here and listening. Please keep sharing, liking, subscribing, telling everyone. We really, really appreciate it, don't we, Emma?
Yes, we do appreciate you, and appreciate you, Emma. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And we'll be in touch soon.
Yeah, we'll see everybody soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.